Happy Thanksgiving, even though it's a little late and I'm Canadian and I celebrate Thanksgiving in October, but still. Hey everyone, welcome to the top 10 list. Welcome to my top 10 favorite Thanksgiving movies. Yes, Thanksgiving. What a very underrated, very underappreciated holiday. It's a movie. It's a movie. It's a holiday. It's also movies, but it's a holiday that people, get together as a family and they eat some turkey and some stuffing and some vegetables and just, spend time as a family and have a nice meal and, spend time together. It's usually probably one of the few years, one of the few days in a year that families all come together and spend time together, this and Christmas. And I love Thanksgiving. And I thought I'd celebrate Thanksgiving by giving my favorite Thanksgiving movies, because there's not a lot of Thanksgiving movies, because apparently movies just don't like to make movies about Thanksgiving for some reason. And again, United States just celebrate Thanksgiving, so I thought, why not? Even though I celebrated Thanksgiving a while ago, in Canada, Thanksgiving is in October, so I had Thanksgiving a month and a half ago, but people just celebrate Thanksgiving, so I thought, what? Let's get my top 10 favorite Thanksgiving movies. So let's get to it. This is my top 10 favorite Thanksgiving movies. And all right, let's get to it. Coming in number 10 is this year's The Oath. The Oath is a movie starring Ike Barinholtz, Tiffany Haddish, and John Cho, and this movie is written and directed by Ike Barinholtz himself. This movie is, I just saw this movie a week and a half ago. I never reviewed it because I didn't have the time, but this movie is relatively funny and bring this family together and they have to sign this oath and stuff, and it's about the presidential election and stuff. It's very odd, and not all the comedy is very pleasant, and not all the comedy really hits well, but there is some really dark comedy elements that really I enjoy, and it doesn't feel very feel-good like a Thanksgiving movie should be, but it's still relatively funny. Ike Barinholtz is a super, super funny guy, and I really enjoyed him, and I enjoyed Tiffany Haddish in this movie. She's a hit and miss with me. I love her in Girls Trip, but she can be relatively annoying in films, but she was fine. I like John Cho as well, and I like some of the dark satirical elements. It does go a little too far. It's not at all feel good. I could say a lot of people would probably hate this movie, but you know what? I enjoyed it for what it was. Coming in number 9 is a movie called An Old-Fashioned Thanksgiving. An Old-Fashioned Thanksgiving. This movie is actually really good, actually. I think this was a straight-to-DVD, straight-to-TV movie and stuff, and I kind of enjoyed it, actually. I remember watching this movie on television years and years ago, and honestly, shit like this doesn't always really resonate with me. I don't know. I don't really love this kind of stuff. I don't always love TV movies or Hallmark movies, especially fucking Hallmark movies, but this one was very feel good. It felt almost like a Jane Austen sort of adaptation, which it isn't, but felt kind of like a very Jane Austen feel. It was a nice little period piece movie, and it has Tatiana Maslany in it, and I fucking love Tatiana Maslany, and it was a cool, feel-good Thanksgiving movie, something that The Oath isn't, and I thought it was good. Coming in number 8 is a little bit of a cheat, but I don't really care. It's a Charlie Brown Thanksgiving. A Charlie Brown Thanksgiving is... I love it. Any excuse I can have to talk about Charlie Brown, I can always take it. And I love the Charlie Brown Christmas. Charlie Brown Christmas special is a way better special than this one. And I love It's the Great Pumpkin. Those are really good movies. But this one is super heartwarming, very endearing, and it has a really beautiful message, just like all the Peanuts cartoons usually do. And this movie is not a full-length feature like Snoopy Come Home or A Boy Named Charlie Brown and stuff. Those, the Peanuts movie, those are full-length feature Peanuts films, and they're great films. This one is a special, It's the Great Pumpkin and Charlie Brown Christmas, and as much as this movie isn't as good or as hard-hitting as those two other specials are, it's still very endearing. I love seeing Charlie, Linus, Lucy, and all the gangs and stuff, and Snoopy, and I really, really enjoyed this special. I've always enjoyed it as a kid. Every time Thanksgiving came around, this special usually came on white TV, and I used to watch it every year. It's puts you in that Thanksgiving mood, and it just makes you feel closer to your families if you're all gathered in the living room watching the special. It's just very heartwarming, very special. I said special a lot, but still it's special and funny, and it's Charlie Brown and the gang, and Who doesn't love Charlie Brown? Coming in number 7 is Home for the Holidays. Yes, Home for the Holidays feels like a Christmas movie, but it's a straight Thanksgiving movie. This is, again, just a family-based comedy film about the family coming home for their Thanksgiving and stuff, and about the problems each of these people have. I won't spoil too much of it, but a lot of them have very heartache problems, relationship problems and stuff. This movie's directed by Jodie Foster. It has Holly Hunter, Dylan McDermott, Robert Downey Jr., all of which give very fine performances. There's cliched elements, there's a lot of predictability in the plot and in the story, but again, it feels like a Thanksgiving movie with the feel-good feels, good dramatic scenes, some emotional scenes, and some pretty funny scenes, and I thought Robert Downey Jr. absolutely stole the film, and yeah, I enjoy this film. Coming in number 6 is Pieces of April. Pieces of April is a movie I know almost for a fact no one's even seen or even heard of. This is a very dark comedy. This is a dark comedy drama, and it's about this girl, very rebellious girl, and she finds out her mom has breast cancer, so she basically takes her and herself and a group of her friends to her home for Thanksgiving and stuff, so they all can spend almost kind of like this woman's last Thanksgiving and stuff, and basically a lot of things go wrong. It's a very realistic film. That's why it's very dramatic, very dark with its comedy, but I really loved this movie. I think it's super well directed. Super well directed. It's one of the few movies Katie Holmes is really great in the film. Derek Luke is also great. Patricia Clarkson's also really great in this film, and Oliver Platt. And it feels like a real family. When I watch this movie, it feels like these are real people. It's a real family going through this real crisis in this real situation. Even the comedy and the dark comedy is very real and very relatable to most people. And I think a lot of people probably should watch this movie every Thanksgiving. It may not have that feel-good charm as other films like Home for the Holidays, but I still think it's well worth the watch. Coming in number 5 is Krisha. Krisha is a movie that stars a woman named Krisha, literally in real life and in the film. And it's directed by Trey Edward Schultz, who also plays the movie as well. And basically, this movie is about these people reuniting with this woman, Krisha, and basically talking about how she basically abandoned her kids and stuff, and then coming together on Thanksgiving to talk about all the heartache these people went through. This is not in the slightest bit a feel-good movie, not in the slightest bit a comedy film. And this movie will make you a little depressed and stuff because how real and raw the film is. It's fucking great though. Krisha is a fantastic film. It's really well directed, really well acted. And it's a film I definitely would never spoil, especially what happens at the end of the film, but it feels so human, so realistic, so raw, so kind of a little gritty at times. And just like I said with Pieces of April, sometimes you need a slice of life movie that's very real and very raw just to show what a real family is like, especially for the holidays on Thanksgiving. Coming in number 4 is Hannah and Her Sisters. Yes, Woody Allen's Hannah and Her Sisters. Yes, it's a Woody Allen film. I'll try to be short on this one because I know how a lot of people feel about Woody Allen and stuff. Say what you will about him as a person. Yes, he's a despicable person, but he is a very good filmmaker, makes a lot of great films. I think Midnight in Paris is his masterpiece, and Hannah and Her Sisters is a really great film, a very delightful comedy with great performances by Woody Allen himself, Diane Wiest, Mia Farrow, Barbara Hershey, and Michael Caine, who won the Oscar for supporting actor. And the screenplay is really well written. It's basically about these families and stuff, these 3 different Thanksgiving dinners that take place throughout the story of the film, and it's a really great film with a really good realistic feel, but also a very funny film. It's got that Woody Allen narcissism in it, but it's very intellectual, very smart, very clever with its filmmaking. Solid editing, good cinematography, and interesting developed characters that are very compelling, very three-dimensional, and it feels like you're watching genuine real people with real issues and stuff, especially marital problems. That's a very common thing in Woody Allen films, and yeah, great film. Coming in number 3 is da-da-da-dun, da-da-da-dun. That's right, James and the Giant Peach. No, Addams Family. The Addams Family values the sequel to the Addams Family because the Addams Family is more of a Christmas movie in a weird way because it takes place during Christmas and it even opens with a Christmas Carol song. This one is during Thanksgiving. I think that's interesting that they take place during the holiday seasons, and this doesn't focus on Thanksgiving, but does take place during the Thanksgiving season. And Wednesday going to a summer camp and stuff, and well, not a summer camp, just a camp in general, and very funny shit happens in this movie. If you're a huge Addams Family fan, then you'll love this movie. I think what Barry Sonnenfeld did with all these films is super funny. I love Raul Julia as Gomez Addams and Angelica Houston as Morticia. Like, God, Mia, Moshe. Just so good. I love Fester. I love everyone. Lurch. I love all these characters. Thing. Cousin Nate. I love that Fester experiences love in this movie. Super, super funny shit. How that story ends, super funny. This is the definition of gothic, dark humor that I love. And I'm excited for a new Addams Family movie. They're doing it in animation, which I think is an interesting, different direction to go. And yeah, I love the Addams Family. So, of course, the sequel had to make it on this list. Coming in number 2 is a super underrated film that most people should watch. Not be watching, just should watch. When they get older, though. Yeah. The Ice Storm is what I'm trying to say. The Ice Storm. Directed by Ang Lee, starring Kevin Kline, Sigourney Weaver, Tobey Maguire, Elijah Wood, Christina Ricci, Katie Holmes. Very good film. Really great film. I think Joan Allen's in this film, too. But really good movie. This is actually, again, takes place during the Thanksgiving holidays and stuff. And it's a lot about staying committed to one's partner because Kevin Kline's not a very loyal husband to his wife. He's cheating on her with Sigourney Weaver and stuff. And then, you have his daughter, Christina Ricci, who's very young, but she's basically a borderline nymphomaniac, and she experiences, weird stuff, especially sexual things with Elijah Wood. Then you got Tobey Maguire's the typical teenage son and everything. And then during Thanksgiving, this big ice storm happens and stuff. And it all brings these characters all together. It's not like a disaster movie. It's actually a very compelling, character-driven story, a very dramatic story with a very tragic ending. And it's a fascinating film, very real film. And yeah, I think the performances in this entire film is fantastic. Ang Lee's direction's great. Kevin Kline is the show stealer. Christina Ricci's also super good in this film. And yeah, I think this is a terrific film. And yeah, it's not a movie you should be popping on every Thanksgiving, but it is a Thanksgiving-themed movie. So, and since I love the movie, it's number 2. And my number 1 favorite Thanksgiving movie is, obviously, I think it's everyone's favorite. That's Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles is such a great film. It's my favorite John Hughes movie. It's basically about this guy, Steve Martin plays him, and he's just trying to get home. He's trying to get home for Thanksgiving. And then he runs into Dale Griffin, played by John Candy, and Neil, I think his name's Neil Page. And basically they meet again on the airplane because it started off with him stealing his cab, but then they meet on the airplane together, and then they get to know each other. But then the airplane doesn't work, so then they have to take a train, and then they got to take buses and automobiles. Basically, they're on this wacky adventure together, but Neil Page finds Dale Griffin, the most irritating guy ever. Even though Dale's a very likable guy, he's incredibly irritating. Here's the fact, have a point. Yes, enjoy Dale Griffin. He's got wonderful anecdotes that you want to hear. Oh, it's so great. I love the lines well, where's your other hand? Between 2 pillows. Those aren't pillows. Ah! So great. And probably the best scene in the movie is when he does the fucks. When he doesn't have the car, he goes back to the dealership and he just screams at this girl. It's the only scene in the movie that has the F word, and it has about, I think, 20 F words, and that's what makes it the R-rated film that it is, and so good. I want my fucking car right fucking now. Do you have the ticket? No. I threw it away. Aw, you're fucked. So good. I love it. John Hughes' direction's great. I love Steve Martin and John Candy. They have great chemistry, and such a great film. My top 10 favorite Thanksgiving movies. So in the comment section below, please tell me, what are your favorite Thanksgiving movies? If you can't think of your top 10, just give me your favorite. What is your favorite Thanksgiving movie? Comment below, let me know. And as always, for this video, please like, subscribe to this channel, and join the dark side.